All right. Who am I talking to today?
You talking to Walter Bracken Sr., aka on the street. On the streets they call me Big Cat.
All right. So what part of St. Louis did you grow up in?
I grew up north side of St. Louis, right there on Clarence and Kasu. They used to call it the Killer Clarence.
Killer Clarence. All right. So what years did did you come up in St. Louis? Was you born in the '60s, '70s?
I was born in the 1967, in the late '60s when I was born. We was we moved over here and when I was born we was staying 4229 West Kasu. And like I was saying, when I was coming up, you know, this neighborhood was like a middle class neighborhood. You know, when you look around it now, you can see how the drugs destroyed our neighborhood a whole lot. I can say I was part of it, but the day that my life started is when I met my two best friends, my childhood friends, Kevin Harold and Joseph Lacey. Ran my tricycle to the corner and they chased me. And I thought they was trying to beat me up. But they chased me to my house and then they said, hey, we just wanna play with you. You know? So once I started knowing them is we started hanging out. As soon as I turned that corner on Clarence and Kasu, that's when my whole life started right there. When I met a whole bunch of other friends of mine, and life was great when I was coming up. You know, we didn't really have no problems. The stuff that's going on today wasn't going on. Other people's parents could whoop you. You know, if you do something bad, there was a whole lot of stuff, good stuff in the neighborhood. You know, you have to have curfews. You know, the street lights come on. You got to be in the house. You know, stuff done changed so much, and how the government is portraying us is it's like they trying to wipe us out. But you know, as black people, we always been strong from day one. You know, but when that crack era hit, hey man, that crack era just came through like a thunderstorm. I'm talking about mamas, aunties, uncles, sisters, girls having crack babies. I mean, killings, all kind of stuff was going on. It just got out of control. It wasn't no honor. There ain't no loyalty. Just like today, right now, ain't no honor, ain't no loyalty in the streets. It's just, it is what it is. If you get caught slipping, you just slipping. But I can say I'm one of the lucky ones that I made it through. I done been robbed before. I ain't never had to take nobody's life. None of that stuff. You know, I'm just trying to live. But like I say, man, coming up as a kid, it wasn't none but fun. And now, you know, today kids can't even go to the playground and play because of all the gunplay that's going on. Little kids getting shot now. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that just being alive and being able to see certain things as you was coming up, it makes you understand and it gives you a reality check. You know, like I said, we sold drugs, we did some of everything. We done got high, you know what I'm saying, dude? We done did it all, as the song would say, done it all. You know, I just live for the moment now. And I was just telling somebody, this fool right here, that I done made peace with God. That I done went and got saved and everything. As long as I know I made peace with God, I know He got my back. I'm going through a few little health issues right now, but I'm a fighter. Put the cap on. You see that? I thought that was gunfire. I was ready to roll. This is what we go through. This is the hood right here.
That motherfucker clown right there.
This is what we go through. Shell shot. I was just shell shot. I thought it was gunplay. But life is good. I'm glad to know I got a good kids, good grandkids, my grandfather, and I was just telling my partner, that's what I live for, the grandkids. Yeah. And really don't got a lot to say now because just like one of them spur of the moment things. Like I say, this is what goes on in the hood. When you're in the hood, you're in the hood. You know?
So let's start back, and you say, what year did you what year did you meet Kevin Hurl and Joe Lacey?
I met Kevin Hurl and Joe Lacey in 1974.
So you was around what, about 8 years old or so, 6?
I had to be somewhere around there. No, I can say when I met them, it might have been before then. I said 74. Let me go back.
That's about 7. Yeah, that's
72.
That's 7 years.
Let's say 70, 72. I had to be right around 5. Right around 5 when I met them. My friend Joseph Lacey got killed some years ago, sitting on his front. But right now today, me and Kevin, we still talk, still call each other every day. You know what I'm saying?
So so how was the neighborhood back in the 74? Was the white people still in this neighborhood? Was they moving out?
It was only when I was coming up, most of them white people had moved. They had moved out. Only 2 white families were still in the neighborhood, and then one more family moved out, and then there was this old white man and his wife. His wife, she was sweet as she can be. But Mr. Irvin, he was prejudiced. He used to call us niggers, tell us to stay off his property, and we'd be playing in my friend's yard. He'll come out there and try to spray us with bug spray. That's how prejudiced he was. And my friend, them father and mother, used to tell us to leave him alone when we was kids. And, we didn't know no better. We were melon. He would be calling us niggas. But we thought it was funny. Here they go.
Cool. All right, so let's go into the 80s. When did the drugs come into the city?
80, 85, 84. That's when the drug scene really hit. It really hit when the movie Colors came out.
So about 86.
Yeah. When Colors hit, that's when the drugs, it got really, really, really stupid around here. Everybody was, most of the younger people was on drugs. I was one up. We got addicted. I got addicted on drugs. And for a few years, And then I was staying with a family member around on Clarence, and one day my brother and my sister, they came to pick me up, and it was like, we come to take you home. I was like, what's wrong? And like, cause mama and daddy will be turning over in their grave, knowing you out here, and you the baby boy, you out here getting drunk, smoking crack. So okay, they told me to pack my clothes. So I packed my clothes, got my clothes in my stuff, and I got in the car with them. We driving to the house. We on the highway, studying them going to the house. They keep on down 70. Took me to the other part. I'm like, what's going on? They finna send you away. And they ended up sending me away to Washington State. Go stay with my sister up there in Tacoma, Washington. And that was my life change. That was like a rehab for me. So they sent me up there and stayed up there for like 6 months. And then my sister's husband got discharged out the service. And he ended up driving from Tacoma all the way to Houston. So I stayed there in Houston for about another 6 months before I came back to St. Louis. And when I came back, my family member was like, everybody still getting, same people that I was around, they were still getting high. They were still looking like zombies, still walking around with shooters and crack in their hand. And I knew then that wasn't going to be the lifestyle that I wanted. You be like that. You got something in there. You got it. And, that was my change. Just leaving for that point of time and coming back, I had a new outlook on life. And I never smoked crack again. I just went and started smoking weed, drink a little bit, and now I really don't even drink no more and no smoke no weed because, like I say, I'm dealing with a lot of health issues, and I'm trying to get back right. Doing dialysis. It's a rough road for me right now, but I'm strong enough to stick in there.
All right, that's what's up. So, what year did you come back from Houston?
I came back from Houston in 80, 88, 89.
And
88, 89.
And you say your friend Joe was killed while you was in Houston, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was killed. He got killed maybe a year after I was gone. I was gone almost a year. Yeah, he got killed within 8 to 9 months after I left. Yeah.
So how was it when you came back? Like, did you see any change in the city so far? Like, was it worse? Was it, starting to get better?
It was ugly. It was ugly. He had got a little worse. So, drive-bys. They was doing more drive-bys and all kinds of killings. A lot of people died. A lot of people got shot. It was just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff going on. Maybe that fella did it. There was just a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. Like I said, the streets wasn't right no more. Not new.
So what kind of stuff, happened to you around that time?
Around that time, you got one of these too.
Tell us about the time you say the dude walked up when the police had y'all hemmed up.
We was out there hustling one day, and Police pulled up in a unmarked car, black tinted windows. We started out there. We chilling. We thought it was a customer. We started walking up to the car. They all jumped out in their police uniform with the police on the thing, task force thing. They had us lined up, you know, they were trying to kind of rough us up a little bit. And while we standing there, the dude named Al that be out here today, he walked up and said, y'all got some weed? And the police he looked at us, looked at him and said, hey man, that you see police on my thing, man? And I was looking, he said, oh no, I didn't even notice. He said, damn, how much money you got? He had $7. And then he told us, damn, y'all got niggas come up here, buy weed for $7 with short money. So he took the money and told Al to walk off. So when Al walked away, he kicked out in his ass real hard. Bam! Told him don't come around here no more. And we all was laughing. And he turned back and I was like, what y'all laughing for? We all shut up, till they left. But Lil Terrell, little young guy, Lil Terrell wasn't no more than 12 or 13 years old. He had like $1,600 on. And they said, where you get this money at, man? And he said, this is my mama, man. He said, what you do with your mama money? He said, my mama told me to keep it. And we was just, police was just shocked. They didn't take the money, but they knew what it was. They knew what it was with us out there on the block. We all hanging out there, trying to get some money. But like I say now, ain't no loyalty or no respect out here. Man.
So what about the gangs? What kind of gangs was in the area, and when did they come into the play?
Oh, they had 4-4 Red Bud, Pit Road, all different streets. They had Clarence Costume Blood, 4-1. Shit, they had Christian Blood, West Side, North Side, South Side, wherever side you want to go. It was all different types. It was basically, when it first kicked in, it was Crips. But then the Bloods came in and took over. There was more Bloods coming around than there was Crips. And it just, from there, if you look now, you don't see many Crips. You see more Bloods than you see Crips, but there's still a few Crips around here, but you see more Bloods. I was never a gangbang. I don't have no tattoos, none of that stuff on me. I don't wear tattoos. I was about the money. All that tattoo stuff, forget all that. That was no meaning to me.
So just say, anything else you want to add to, any stories you want to throw in?
Maybe you can catch me later. Cause like this was one of those spur of the moment.
Yep.
And we was just feeling bad about our mother-in-law, your grandmother.
Yep.
But I've been putting this off, and I wanted to get this podcast, this thing going, try to help you out, help us out, and peace and love.
There we go.